Cheers.
Cheers, Zane.
Cheers.
Welcome back to the rebooted Diverge Podcast. It's been a while.
Been a while, eh? Well done.
Yeah. We are here in Gamkaskloof, Die Hel, for the 30th anniversary of To Hell and Back. Yeah, I mean, tell us about this amazing race.
I think the first thing that pops into my mind was I picked up a guy today, just 5Ks from the finish, cramping. And it took about 5 minutes for him to say this to me, and I think it's very relevant to this conversation. And he said to me, some of the other races in the country available is he referred to as shopping mall races, and this is the real thing. And not to diss other events, but it's I think that people underestimate what the Hell and Back is, and it's true hardcore mountain biking on an open gravel road, no single track, but it's you need to know what you're doing when you're riding your bike, and it's not about just the single thing of riding your bike. It's about nutrition, about eating right, drinking, and making sure you can actually make a short distance in relative terms, 75 Ks, into the Gamkaskloof or Die Hel.
I mean, you guys have been through everything with this race as well. You've had snow, you've had wind, floods, fires, and now this is a classic 36-degree edition. It was tough out there today.
Yeah, you would think in November every year would be a 36-degree year, but yeah, we've had snow, we've had all of those things, and I think that the Hel is just such a climate on its own, this space. Yeah, we've been dealt many things, and like we could probably hear now the wind picking up as well, and it's so classic. At 5 o'clock it starts pumping with wind, and at 7 o'clock there's no wind, and it will be perfect again. And it's such a amazing experience. Also, I've been involved with this event now for 13-14 years. It's been running, like you said on the intro, 30 years. And it's just these little things that you get accustomed to. Like, you don't put a gazebo up in the Hel without tow ropes. You know, like, there's just no way. There's no guide ropes on a gazebo, you know.
And I mean, it's such an incredible place. You're so close to Oudtshoorn and even closer geographically to Carlersdorp as the crow flies, but it's so remote. It's a very special place, and the people down here are special. Interesting, special as well.
Yeah, I think what resonated with me a couple of years ago when Simon Andreasen did the race, and I remember sitting in the beer tent with him and having a chat with him, and he quite seriously said to me, he thinks this is the remotest he's ever been in his life, and the first time he's been without Wi-Fi.
But that's also part of the appeal of it. It's quite nice to just turn your phone off. I put my phone on airplane mode last night, and I'll put that off, I don't know, tomorrow afternoon when I leave De Hoek. Even the start of the race, which is supposedly civilized, there's no cell signal. So it's a really lekker just unplugging and discharge from the normal world.
I absolutely love it. My phone is playing the music at the moment. And it also brings challenges to the event, and I've been discussing it with several people over the weekend, is that we also realize how lazy we have become in our communication skills. Because even any event, the other events we do in the country as well, there's always the fact that you can communicate a point 3 or 4 times, or reiterate it, or it's a WhatsApp or email or whatever, or a phone call, where you've got one chance to give the message. And then if you leave from that point or that person and the message didn't get through, it can have havoc of consequences. And today, with the e-bike batteries, about which point they wanted them, I made some e-bike riders sit there for 3 hours waiting for their battery. Shouldn't be saying this on a podcast, but it's like simple things like that. It's just about where does the battery actually need to go, like, and make sure that person knows where you want your battery, and compared to, oh no, but I'll figure it out later. It's such a difficult thing that people don't realize when we in such a remote place. And it also makes you realize how lazy we've become with communication.
But it also relies a lot upon the skills of all the people that have been involved over the years. And you've got a good core group of people that have amazing competencies. I mean, like Roy Bart fixing the troopy every year somewhere along the road in Die Hel. It brings all your mates together and your family together as well to pull this off.
No, for sure. And I think that's key. It's like when the car broke now on Thursday, Andre just showed me, Roy Bart, he just showed me the car's broken, and I nodded, and we both pulled off the road. I pulled to the side, I opened up the awning of the car, and I got some drinks out and some food before we even started fixing the car, because it's like, we're going to be here for a while, and this is what we do, because there's no point in phoning for help. We're going to have to fix the car there, otherwise the event won't happen. And that's what's classic about this, and it does help to know whoever is in their position will figure something out, because that's the only way you can do it, because things do go wrong. We've lost a diesel tank this year on a truck. All three our trucks got stuck in one of the drifts. We had to pull them out, high lift jacks. The Nissan Safari broke. What else can I say? There's been a few things, and there's no other way than to figure it out.
I mean, when you talk about those things, why'd you still come back here? It sounds ridiculously tough, far too tough. You could do a race in the vineyards somewhere close to town or in the mountains just above George. It'd be very easy.
Yeah, Flip. It's not the hell, eh? It's just this place. I think it's special, and like I've learned with Kermen and coming in with the kids on social trips, we don't do it often enough, but once you come over Elandspaas and you see the valley, it's just it brings a calmness, and it brings like we've arrived to a certain spot here in life and in destination, and it's difficult to explain to anybody that hasn't been here, but and especially if you've cycled it, if you've worked to get here, and it's hard when you get here. It's like we're now fortunate with green grass and a nice flowing river, but you're still in the baking sun. There's no like VIP lounge where you can go and chill with aircons. It's like you're still in the sticks here, and I think people that come here understand that and respect that, and also value that.
I mean, there's so many unique things about this event. Buying your own meat, the location. It's like the core South African mountain bike stage race, the first South African mountain bike stage race. Looking ahead, 30 more years, how do you think it's going to evolve, or is this it? There's no evolution. It's actually a throwback now.
I don't know. Like every year I come down here with the logistics, I think about what can we do more, what can we evolve. Maybe I've been toying with the ultra distance ride as well, that would do up to 200 Ks, or do we bring in multi-sport, or do we bring in a trail run or something like that, or do we just stick to what we know, and like it's the Die Hel and back as a 2-day mountain bike ride. I think that we had back-to-back events over the years, and we've had 500-600 riders here over a weekend. We add 150 riders now, and I don't know, like, what's the next step? I think we'll figure it out as we go, because the one thing for sure is we'll keep on coming back, and we'll keep on wanting people to experience this. And an interesting fact that was great for us to learn this year is that 80% of this field are first timers, where you would think that hell and back riders are the people that know what it is and they come back. So we've got a lot of new people coming wanting something different, and that's exciting, because that means although we still have a relatively small field, the sport is still growing into people wanting to do something out of the norm. And it's funny, as you just said, because this was the norm. back in 96, 97. This was what stage racing was, and it's completely transformed to now not being the norm. But actually, we've just been doing the same thing for 30 years.
And then looking ahead to tomorrow, there's no sugarcoating it. It's actually all downhill to hell. And the real challenge is climbing out of the hell. Have you got any advice for any of the riders of what they're going to face tomorrow?
I don't have advice. The only thing I can say is that Elands Pass is not as bad as it looks. It's actually climbs quite lekker. It's got a nice switchback flow. It climbs quite well. But the rest, the one thing I do think is true is coming into the hell is less climbing, but the gradient is a lot steeper coming in. I think the climbs out are a lot less gradient and a lot easier, but you do climb more and longer.
2,000 meters and 40 kilometers climbing out. It doesn't matter what the gradient is. It's hard.
Is that your prep talk to yourself?
No, I'm going to go cry now. Zane, thank you so much. It's always lekker.
Cheers, bro. Thanks, Shema. Thanks for coming down and always enjoying the space.
Thanks. Cheers.
Cheers.